the tuning there is not, it's not perfect.
Sound check.
G'day and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan and today we're going to be reviewing one of my personal favourites, Pentatonix, and we're going to be listening to their rendition of I Just Called to Say I Love You, the Stevie Wonder classic, released back in 2021 by Pentatonix on their sort of Christmassy album, sort of festive season album called Evergreen. Now, this is a live performance on The Ellen Show. It's a really good insight into their voices in a live setting, so there's very little post-production going on here apart from what we hear in, really high-quality TV live, production. And it's a really great arrangement, and of course, that's what makes Pentatonix as good as they are. It's not just that they're five fabulous voices all blending beautifully. It's also the arrangements and the skillful way that those voices are used to come together in those arrangements. Let's jump in. We're going to point some things out as we go along about the voice use and the application of tone and vibrato and some of those sorts of things. So let's dive in and also just really enjoy this performance because it's great.
No New Year's Day to celebrate, no chocolate-covered candy hearts to give away.
So this is Scott Hoying starting off, for those of you who don't know Pentatonix very well. It's interesting because his tonal shaping is quite thin in this very, very beginning. But it's kind of not dissimilar to what we might expect to hear in a Stevie Wonder presentation. And so it kind of gives a bit of a hat tip to that sort of sound, and it invites us into a song that we know very well because it's a Stevie Wonder hit. But it's quite narrow in the shaping, isn't it? Let me know in the comments section what you think about the presentation of the tone.
No first of spring, no song to sing. In fact, it's just another ordinary day. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care.
Now, the great thing about that sound is if you haven't had an opportunity to do a lot of ensemble work like we're seeing here with Pentatonix, the skill of really great ensemble singing is listening, is being able to hear and in doing so blend your voice in with the other voices that you're singing along with. And can you hear at no point any of the five voices competing with each other? They are the sum total of their parts. And it's as they come together as one harmonious grouping that we get one sound. And that's what we hear. That's what I love about Pentatonix is it's this one sound. There's never this sense of tussle between the voices. It's this wonderful, synchronous, oneness of voice. And again, it's a real skill of the arranger to create that opportunity for the voices to do that.
I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, that was interesting, wasn't it? Let's have a listen. The tuning there is not perfect. If we were to be brutally honest, it's not quite perfect, but that's also what gives us that indication this is truly live. Now, if they were in a studio, they'd probably, just fix that up a bit, either by doing retakes or just tuning. That's okay. have a listen and you tell me if you can hear that there's just a little bit. Now, I want to point out here, now, I've said before in videos, and in fact, I'll leave a video link at the end of this video for you to go and test your range out against Pentatonix. But I have said in the past, and I say it in this video, Kirstin's my favorite. And what I love about Kirstin's voice is just the overall tone. It's just, I don't know, something in her voice makes me melt. But I also want to point out in this particular performance, the rate of her vibrato. And it's almost leaning towards a tremolo. It's a very high movement of vibrato. And I've had many students over the years concerned about the rate of their vibrato, that it's very, very fast and being, oh, is that a problem? And I've always reflected, no, I don't think it is. And here we hear a wonderful singer like Kirstin Maldonado, full flight, and as beautiful as she is vocally, it's this really high rate of vibrato. And so hopefully if you've had those questions in your own mind, can I have a really high rate vibrato and still be, okay as a singer? Yeah, have a listen. In fact, her really high rate of vibrato, that really high level of oscillation, is going to continue throughout the entire performance.
No giving thanks to all the Christmas joy you bring. Oh, to fill your heart like no three words could ever do. I just call.
Now, they were having tuning, that one momentary tuning issue earlier, but there's no tuning, is there, going on? And I'm not wanting to labor on the tuning thing. It's just identifying that, even high-end professionals like Pentatonix, they're human and they have to work their pitch accuracy, don't they? They have to really dial it in. They're fully dialed in now. And they're really also, as I said before, they're listening. Yeah, they're really, because they're about to build in dynamic. The danger in ensemble work when you start to build is that one singer starts to get away and starts to get too big too quickly, but they're going to really build together. And it's an insight into, they've been singing together for a long time.
To say I love you, I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, of my heart, of my heart, of my heart. I just called.
Lovely modulation. Can I also point out that, when we're doing these reviews, I'm often talking about performance, stagecraft, and the sense of energy and activation of lyric. And notice in this particular presentation, it's very stand and deliver. There's not a lot going on. This is only about a 3-minute performance, so there doesn't need to be a lot going on. Notice that it's really working with the song. It's always important to remember when you're performing your particular song and thinking about the context of that performance, that you really take into account the audience, the nature in which that performance is going to be taking place. In this case, it's live to TV. There is a live audience, TV audience, studio audience, but it's going to TV, so there's multiple camera angles. There's a big screen behind them. They don't have to do a lot. And also because the sixth member of this group is the arrangement. And so we're getting to hear this lovely sixth, performer going on, which is our ears are drawn to these wonderful layerings and colours and, it's so good. I want to go back and have a listen to that low note again because it's so good. Have a listen to this. I just called to say I love you. So warm. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I mean it from. Oh, listen to that. Can you have a listen to how Kirstin brings in sort of an ambient, breathy tone to kind of bring us back to landing, because we've just had our true tenor, Mitch, who has just sort of given us that really high, light, what Mitch, this is the voice type that I am, is exactly what Mitch is. Mind you, I can't do the whistle tone of Mitch Grassy, but we get to hear that really clean, light, pure, and now Kirstin's going to bring us back down with a sort of an ambient tone to sort of help us bring it down back in for landing at the end. Scott also. Yes, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So good. Oh, I love Pentatonix. I really do. And I really do mean, there's 6 members of Pentatonix, and the 6th member is the arrangements and the person who does the arrangements. I hope you've enjoyed today's analysis and just really reviewing, because it's kind of different, right? We're normally only reviewing single voices, but today we get to hear 5 fabulous singers really working harmoniously together so that what they're able to produce is actually a singular voice. We know them as Pentatonix. As I said, check out the link that at the end of this video for you to go and test your vocal range against Pentatonix if you're interested. I'll give you a heads up. It's quite a challenge because some of them are singing very low and very high. I do these vocal analyses every week, and so make sure you subscribe and join our ever-growing family of singers across the globe who, just like you, want to raise their voice in song, because here at Voice Essentials, this is the place where everybody sings. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.